Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. For you new viewers, my name's Kevin. For the returning viewers, returning subscribers, you know I appreciate you. It's nice to see you again. I know it's been about 2 months since I've been on video last. I did get married this weekend. It was just a long, crazy weekend. I wanted to finally get some time, shoot a video. Of course, it was pouring all day today. We had a crazy nor'easter, like 50 or 60 mile an hour wind gusts, like 3 inches of rain. So it is going to be a Tesla video. I've owned the Model 3 now for about 10,000 miles. I'm still loving it, but I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to give my 3 dislikes on the car. You know, I wanted to be honest and open about the things that I've liked. I've done videos like that before, but now a video about things that I don't like and why there's a trash bin 25 feet behind my car. That will be dislike number 3 at the end of the video. I will say, I'll caution, I've been a part of a lot of different car groups in my time, a lot of different communities, clubs, forums and whatnot. The Tesla guys, you guys are unique. I've never seen somebody so defensive. You guys truly love your vehicles. So I hope this video doesn't come off as me trashing the car, because that's not me, guys. I love this thing. 3 of my friends have bought this, or 2 of my friends. I couldn't recommend it more, but that doesn't mean I can't be honest about the things that do annoy me. And like I said, there are 3. So without more to say, let's just get in the car. And again, at the end, you'll see why I got this trash can behind me. So we'll just hop on in here, open her on up. So my first dislike is going to be the wipers, and specifically the automatic wipers. The rain sensing wiper program is, in my opinion, it's just not very good. Now, I was trying to shoot this video and it was raining pretty good. I was charging up the GoPro and of course the rain stopped. The only time I wanted it to rain ever, and it's not raining. But I'll still be able to describe what annoys me the most. So you could be driving along and it's raining, you know, you can see the wipers now. You can access it by this little button here, or you could also push this and it's in auto, and you do have your 3 settings right there. Like I said, specifically the auto, it's just not programmed well at all. There are times at night when it is pouring rain and you have it in automatic and the wipers are just like kind of stuck on speed 1. And, you know, I'd like to drive sometimes at night with my wipers off, so, you know, I get it. But there's times like I can barely see where I'm going and the wipers are stuck on automatic at a really slow speed. And on the contrary, there are times, say in the daytime, and you're driving behind a vehicle on the highway, or just in general, the wipers they go to max speed. And you look like an idiot sitting there with the wipers going full speed for a little minor sprinkle. It just kind of does both sides not that well. I believe it has something to do with, excuse me, I got a little bit of something in my throat. So it kind of looks at the light coming in the windshield, I think. So like at night, if it's totally dark, the wipers go on slow, but if there's a headlight or something, they start to go faster. And I appreciate that they're trying to make it more advanced and more seamless. It just, guys, it just doesn't work that well. But like I said, one positive, what I do like about the wipers, aside from the windshield is really great, we got great visibility, is the wash function. I just did it right there. It works really well. And what I really appreciate is that the washer jets are on the wipers themselves. All my other vehicles to date that I've owned, the wiper jets are on the hood and it sprays a mist up onto the windshield. And if you're a guy like me, you want to keep your car nice and clean all the time, it always mists everywhere, it sprays everywhere, and it's just a mess. So I really like how neat the wiper clean function is and how great it works. And of course, again, how much we like, here it is, cold weather, 50 degrees, damp roads, pedal down, and it just doesn't matter. It's full grip all the time. You never get tired of that, I promise. So the wipers, that's number one. The second thing that annoys me the most is, again, another auto feature, is the auto headlamps. Specifically when you're on autopilot. Now, I have my auto headlights. Here we go, bring this up. You go to, I think it's driving, no, lights. Exterior lights are on auto. Auto high beam. I have auto high beam off because, again, I don't think auto high beam is programmed well. So when you use autopilot, you put autopilot on, you see it automatically mandates that auto high beam has to be enabled. Now you can trick the computer out of this, and if you take the wiper, the wiper stock, and you push it forward once, it will actually get rid of your auto high beam for this autopilot drive cycle, and that makes it much more enjoyable. The problem with the high beam is, again, kind of like the wipers, it does both sides of the spectrum very poorly. You know, I live out in the woods, guys, okay? There's not usually that much traffic. Okay, so I'll be driving on a night back road, just cruising along, having a good time, and the auto high beams are constantly going on, off, on, off, on, off. It's ridiculous. It's just too sensitive. Maybe it sees a car parked in a driveway and it immediately shuts them off. Or there'll be times when I want to command the high beams on. I see something, I think, I want to see if, is that a deer? Is that something in the road? A tree, a branch? You try to put the high beams on, it won't go on. It's very frustrating. But what's equally as frustrating is, again, when in autopilot and you do not disable the auto high beam, again, we can put it back on so the auto high beam comes on. Now, it's not dark out, so you won't see this, but the car seemingly does not care about the car in front of you. You could be 200 feet behind the car, so you see that pickup truck? Let me try to slow down a little bit. I'm gonna say, if we were in autopilot right now, and it was pitch dark out, the car would have no problem putting its high beams on right here. Now, come on, guys. If you're a courteous driver, in real life, would you put your high beams on with that truck right there? No, you wouldn't. Right? Just as if you dim your high beams for a vehicle coming this way. You wouldn't put your high beams on. But the auto high beam, it just doesn't care. And I get it. It's because of the cameras. You want to have good night visibility for all the self-driving aids and whatnot. So I understand. I just disagree with it. That's all. It's just not a courteous vehicle when it's in autopilot mode. What's a positive feature about the headlamps? Well, that's easy, guys. They work. Well, the auto feature doesn't work that well. But the illumination, the lumen output of these headlights is phenomenal. I mean, you can really see down the road at night. It's got great side-to-side illumination. It illuminates high really well, so you can see up to the trees. And when in high beam, you can really project the light out there. They're probably some of the best output headlamps that I've used to date, and I've driven a lot of higher end vehicles, you know, like my parents' cars and whatnot. I still think these are the best headlamps I've seen. The only ones that come close is my dad's F350 with the quad beam HIDs, I'm sorry, LEDs. You can kind of see like these two huge C's like this, and that really puts out a lot of light, but also the vehicle's like 3 feet taller, so that helps. So that's dislike number 2. And those are more like little foibles. And what's great about those is, at a later update, software update, it just actually did an update the other day. Maybe that could be tweaked. Enough people complain about it, it could be tweaked. By far, my biggest dislike is the rear visibility. Now, I'm not quite sure how it's gonna look on the GoPro, okay? Once we get home, I'm gonna do a demonstration for you guys. But the rear visibility, it just sucks. The trunk level, the trunk height is just too high. And you know, I get why they did it. They want to have a nice big trunk opening with a tall trunk inside, put the power down, little bit of slip, traction control came on a little bit, but again, it's just awesome. Like I was saying, the trunk height is just too high. So when you try to look behind you, like, you could lose a Corvette. You could be in traffic with a Corvette behind you, like a low sports car, and you can look in your rearview mirror and not see the car at all. And same kind of goes to the mirrors. Again, the mirrors kind of have these big blind spots in the back. And, you know, if you're like me and you're used to just being able to go like this real quick, I can't really see that way. And it makes me a little bit nervous when you're driving the car, especially a new driver that's not used to the car. It's a little bit nerve-wracking to be able to see behind you. And I was always raised and taught how to drive from my father, and if you want to stay out of trouble, be a safe driver, still have a little bit of fun, you gotta be looking behind you just as much as you're looking in front of you. And this car, that's my biggest, what I think is its biggest fault, is the rear visibility. Personally, if I was designing the car, and you know, I just sell ice cream, guys, okay? I'm not an engineer. See, that's another thing. So you would think I moved to the edge of the line because I knew that car was gonna come into my lane, and the car doesn't compute that. So it sees me hit the yellow line or the white line, I apologize, and the car freaks out. Now, it didn't apply any steering, but it still made the beepy noise like I'm going off the road. It would be nice if it would use the front camera, see that there's a high likelihood of a vehicle in my lane, and allow me to go to the white line without it beeping. Again, maybe another software update. So I was saying, I get why they put the trunk height. You know, the battery's in the bottom of the floor, so that raises the floor height. You want to have good trunk space, but to me, if you need a lot of cargo space, just get the Model Y, guys. The Model Y is great. Okay, nice crossover, huge cargo area. I mean, the trunk in this is still large. I would have happily sacrificed 1 to 2 inches of the trunk height to get better rearward visibility. But that's just me. Now, a plus side is, again, you could get used to just using this feature. And you push this little thing that looks like a camera, and it brings up your rear cameras. So I guess who cares if the rear visibility with the mirror is not good, because you could just open up this and see it very easily. Again, I complained about the blind spots. Well, here are your blind spot cameras right here. So you could very easily see if there's a car in your blind spot. And then just put your foot down and rip a 0 to 50 again. And this has no problem coming on as you drive. What would be nice is if you're on the highway and you put your blinker on here, that it would automatically pull this feed up to let you know if there's a vehicle. Those are just some of my opinions. I mean, other than that, and those aren't life or death things here, guys. I love this car. So we'll go ahead and get back to the house. I'm gonna give you a demonstration. I'm gonna put a bright orange. All right, guys, so like I said just a minute ago, I would give you a visual representation of the rearward visibility. So here we go, get the Model 3 parked. This is my, I think it's a 55-gallon trash pickup. This is a big trash bin here, guys. Brightly colored, and we have it exactly like 25, 26 feet from the back of the Model 3. So we're just gonna go ahead and open up the door and see how well we can see that pretty tall trash bin. Open it up. Come on in here. So here we are. We're gonna sit put this camera right where my eye is. I'm gonna take a peek. Can't really see it. We'll kind of zoom in. Cannot really see it. Again, this is where my eye is. This is where I'm sitting in the vehicle. In this mirror, can't really see it. Now, we can get a little closer. And I'm sure it's peeking out there just a little bit. But again, your eyes are not gonna be here. Your eyes sit here. So we can't really see it with our mirror. And now we'll check this. Now, you can just barely see the tippity top of it. And if I kind of, again, this is right where my eye is, you can't see it now. We can try to lift up a little bit. Not too much, because again, the window's kind of small. You can not really see it. Now, imagine that was a black car. Would you see it that quickly? Now, again, you could just pull up the rear view cameras, and then obviously you can very quickly see it. But again, if I was the one testing the vehicle, and again, I'm just an ice cream guy here, guys, I'm not a vehicle engineer, I would have said, let's sacrifice 1 or 2 inches of the trunk space for more rearward visibility. I think you're gonna get a vehicle that's more entertaining to drive and maybe a little bit less stressful, because again, if you're new driving these cars, it can be stressful merging on the highway. Granted, you got more power than most of the cars, so you just put your foot down and pass them all. But that's really it, guys. I hope you do enjoy. If you want to see more videos, go ahead, like, subscribe, comment what you liked, what you don't like, and hope you have a good day. Thanks, guys.